Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever felt just overwhelmed by all the financial advice out there? Unsure how to really take control of your money, invest wisely, or maybe even find totally new ways to earn? That's exactly why we're doing this deep dive today. We got a stack of your sources all about financial empowerment, building wealth. We're going to pull out the most important nuggets for you. Everything from, really getting past that initial fear of investing to exploring some pretty unconventional income streams. And we'll even look at a classic movie that, wow, still says a lot about money mindset today.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating is how all these different pieces fit together. You've got practical budgeting tips, insights on, say, market resilience, but they all kind of point to the same thing. Financial success isn't just earning more. It's about smart management, strategic thinking, and, importantly, being ready for the unexpected. We'll dig into why understanding risk is key, why starting small works, and even get specific, like why REITs seem promising for 2025. Especially sectors like senior housing and data centers, it's all about building that confidence, really, strengthening your financial footing.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Based on these sources, we're not just talking the usual stuff, we found some genuinely, well, weird side hustles that pay. Things like selling empty ink cartridges or, get this, professional cuddling. Then we'll zoom in on this whole idea of creating a faceless YouTube channel for alternative income, finding your niche using AI tools, all that. Could your passion be the next big thing? Like that kid, Ryan Koji, turning toy reviews into a massive business. And we'll also dissect Wall Street, that classic Hollywood film. It's kind of a cautionary tale, raises big questions about integrity, ambition, money. So yeah, get ready, some surprising facts, practical takeaways, probably a few aha moments. Hopefully you'll feel informed and ready to take charge of your own financial story. So let's kick things off with that first big hurdle. For so many people, right, the fear of investing, it can feel, well, really intimidating. But the sources suggest confidence isn't about avoiding risk entirely. It's about mastering it. Through controlled steps, sort of iterative exposure, like building financial muscle memory maybe, starting with small strategic moves.
Exactly. And a key point from the sources is that investing isn't, some high-stakes gamble you just leap into. It's more about starting small, learning as you go, and accepting that market downturns. They happen. They're inevitable. Smart investors, as one source points out, they prepare for that volatility. They build resilience. And that preparation might mean, say, strengthening your financial position before a crash hits, or understanding basic tools like dollar cost averaging, to smooth out the bumps.
That makes sense. Understanding those market cycles is, crucial. And on the flip side, when we talk financial strength, it's not just investing. It's managing what you already have. The sources really emphasize that saving money doesn't have to mean like totally sacrificing your lifestyle, which is huge. There are practical budgeting strategies out there that let you grow savings without feeling deprived. That sounds like a game changer. Can you give us an example of how that works?
Sure. One strategy that comes up is value-based budgeting, sometimes called reverse budgeting. So instead of slashing everything, you figure out your core values first. What's really important to you. You allocate money there first. Then you consciously cut back on the stuff that doesn't really align with those values. It reframes budgeting. It's not deprivation. It's conscious allocation. Makes it feel way less restrictive. The bigger idea is that financial management becomes a tool for, well, living better, not just saving more. And speaking of strategic moves, one specific area highlighted for 2025 is the REIT market, real estate investment trusts. Seems to be looking pretty strong, especially, as I mentioned, senior housing and data centers.
Okay, that's interesting. REITs boards.
Yeah.
Why those specific sectors, though? What makes senior housing and data centers stand out right now?
Well, the material suggests it's tied to these big underlying trends. Demographics and technology. You've got an aging population, right? That creates steady growing demand for senior living facilities. It's a pretty stable long-term need. At the same time, our digital world just keeps expanding. So we need more and more data centers for the cloud, for AI, for everything. Zooming out a bit, it shows how understanding these broader societal shifts can actually point you towards very specific investment ideas.
Right. Okay, so that's the more traditional or maybe semi-traditional investment world. But financial empowerment isn't just about established markets, is it? Sometimes the real innovation is finding those overlooked opportunities. Which brings us to some truly unconventional income streams in your sources. I mean, seriously, weird side hustles that pay,
Yeah.
like selling empty ink cartridges, who knew?
Yeah.
Or even professional cuddling. It kind of challenges what we think of as valuable, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
And it raises that big question. what actually defines value in the market. Could be the surprising demand for something specific, like those ink cartridges for remanufacturing, or it could be fulfilling a very human need, like connection or comfort. These examples just show how incredibly diverse income streams can be. It's often about spotting an unmet need or maybe an underused resource, sometimes in really, really niche areas.
And speaking of things holding surprising value, here's a little piece from the sources that just, wow, it blew my mind. Did you know there's a chocolate bar out there worth more than your monthly grocery bill? Seriously. It's like rare, century-old Cadbury chocolate. From Shackleton's Antarctic expedition. It's a collector's item now, obviously not for eating. Makes you think, right? How age and scarcity can turn something totally ordinary into something incredibly expensive. A bit like how a niche side hustle finds value where others don't look.
That's a great analogy. It
Yeah.
really underscores how value isn't always inherent. It's often created by context, by scarcity, by history, and that connects right back to this theme of finding value in unexpected places, whether it's a unique service or, yeah, a historical artifact.
And taking that idea, unconventional income, even further. One of the most intriguing sections we found was this deep dive into creating a faceless YouTube channel for alternative income. The writer actually attended this free 2-day workshop, covered everything. Finding a niche, that sweet spot between passion and profit, creating videos from scratch, even using AI tools to make the content creation part easier.
Yeah, a key insight there seems to be how accessible content creation has become. The source points out that even if you're not, say, super tech savvy, AI tools are kind of democratizing the whole thing. You've got AI script assistants maybe helping outline videos, automated voiceovers so you don't need to use your own voice, even tools that can generate video clips from text. It makes quite sophisticated production available to almost anyone. And the instructor's story in that source is pretty compelling too. A high-earning professional starts this channel on the side, takes a 6-month leave to really test it out, posts 1 video a week consistently, and it worked. It really highlights that power of consistency, having a structured approach, even for something flexible like a side hustle.
It really does. And it makes you wonder, if a kid like Ryan Kaji can build an empire reviewing toys, what's stopping any of us from turning our own know-how, our passions, into content people actually want to watch? The writer of the source even considered using their own financial journey, this very newsletter maybe, as a basis for a channel. Or exploring their interest in dogs. It just shows the range of opportunities out there for scalable, flexible income.
Absolutely. The broader point is that income generation isn't just one single path anymore. Leveraging platforms like YouTube, especially with these new tools, offers a pretty significant way to diversify, to align with long-term goals, even if you have a full-time job. It's about recognizing that your own knowledge, your interests, they could be assets.
Now, as we're exploring all this wealth, ambition, new opportunities, it feels important to also look at the darker side sometimes. Our sources bring up the classic movie Wall Street. Remember that one? It's described as this cautionary tale about unchecked ambition, the ethical tightropes you walk when chasing money at all costs. You see Bud Fox, right? The eager young stockbroker gets tangled up with Gordon Gekko, insider trading, and eventually he faces that harsh reality of greed, corruption.
And what's striking is how relevant that film still feels decades later. It's uncanny. It really highlights how financial power, if it's not checked, can absolutely corrupt. It's a timeless story, really. And the action step mentioned in the source is so crucial. Success isn't just about the bottom line. It's about integrity. It's about learning to spot those ethical red flags, making decisions that align with your long-term values, not just getting swept up in the, immediate thrill of big money.
Yeah, it's like watching someone sell their soul for that penthouse view, like you said, only to realize way too late the price was just too high. That perspective from the source, it really does stick with you. It makes you think about what true success actually means, beyond just the bank balance.
And it raises an important question for today, doesn't it? In our fast-paced financial world, how easy is it still to fall into similar ethical traps? Maybe less obvious ones than blatant insider trading, but still, the film kind of pushes us to constantly evaluate our own choices and the wider impact of our financial goals, even when the pressure's on.
So, wrapping this all up, what does this mean for you listening right now? After diving into everything from mastering that fear of investing, navigating market swings, exploring the ethics of Wall Street, and even the surprising world of faceless YouTube channels, it seems pretty clear that building wealth, it's a journey. It's not some fixed destination you just arrive at.
Exactly. And if we connect all these dots, the common thread running through all these sources seems to be adaptability, whether it's how you invest, how you budget your money, or how you explore totally new income streams. Flexibility and preparation seem absolutely key. for thriving in pretty much any economic climate. Which leads to, I think, an important question to ponder. Given all these diverse ways to earn and save we've talked about, what's one unconventional path, maybe one untried path, that you might be overlooking in your own journey towards financial growth?
That's a powerful thought to leave you with. Your financial journey is definitely unique, but one thing holds true. Taking action today, even small action, sets you up for success tomorrow. We really hope this deep dive has given you plenty to think about, maybe even about that chocolate bar worth more than groceries, and perhaps inspired you to take that next step, no matter how small it feels or how unconventional it might seem. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.